the importance of Sunday, Transgender Remembrance Day?
Well, it's an annual day that's set aside to remember and honor those either transgender or gender nonconforming that had lost their lives through violence through the preceding year. And it's a time for the community to get together and remember them, but also, build plans for moving forward and addressing the problem.
And one case that kind of shook the nation was Leila Alcorn, who committed suicide, an Ohio teenager. Talk about how that kind of really brought into light the high suicide rates among transgender men and women.
That's true. That is another issue that greatly affects the transgender and gender divergent community is the suicide problem. And Leila, of course, was from the Cincinnati area, and that her death had a big impact due to her releasing a very heartfelt and meaningful suicide note online. But Transgender Day of Remembrance is more focusing on those that lose their lives through violence. But the suicide is definitely a problem as well.
And right now, there's transgender flags flying at Courthouse Square preparing for Sunday's event. What's that day supposed to, what does it mean essentially to people who are going to attend?
Well, it's a vigil to, we'll have, starting at 4 o'clock, we'll have speakers, and there's going to be a reading of the names of those that were killed. I believe we're going to release a floating lantern. And then there'll be a panel discussion afterwards. But really, it's just first off, it's just to honor their memory and to consider the social climate and the problems that lead to this situation in the first place. So many of our community are taken away from us simply because they're trying to be who they are.
And anyone can come to this event. It's open to the public at Courthouse Square in downtown Dayton?
It is not at Courthouse Square this year. It is at the new Dayton LGBT Center at 24 North Jefferson, Suite 200. I believe that's above MJ's.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. We'll get that online for you if anyone's interested in attending. Ada, thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure having you. All right. Well, coming up here.